Yeah, my name is Jose Ferraro. I've been with Freeport McMoRan for the last 15 years. Started in the laboratory systems, then I switched into business objects like 12 years ago. And now I'm doing web intelligence and also doing training in our North America, South America locations, and also Indonesia, etc. Then I did this presentation in IBIS 2019, and it was one of the papers that you can submit and they will say, yeah, approve, and then you can go and save some money and enjoy the conference as well. Then what I want to show you is how to use your current web intelligence platform to create something that will interact as a dashboard. Then actually, most of you, if you're already using business objects, you have a lot of money invest in your environment. You have servers, you have licensing, you have a lot of training for your people, users, and also your IT department. Also, you spend a lot of time doing content development for your data services, bringing the data from different sources into maybe your data warehouse, and then you have a lot of universes, the semantic layer, connecting to those data providers. And also you have documents, reports, and including interactive dashboards. Maybe you are using some interactive dashboards using Webby. And also you have your BI Launchpad for distribution, security, all the ways to log in and grant access to the reports, the data, etc. Okay, then you have a lot of money and time already invested in your current environment. Then you have a decision time when somebody says, I want to use this tool because this is the best tool in the market. Tableau, Power BI, something else that maybe somebody's creating out there. And you will say, okay, maybe I can use business objects to do that. Maybe I can use Webby to do a dashboard. And we start thinking about, really, is that even possible? Can I use Webby to do some kind of dashboarding? I mean, for me, it's more like a paginated reports. I'm going to create a table. I'm going to print it out in my printer or send it to somebody in a SharePoint. But I don't see Webby as a dashboarding tool. But do you have the time? Do you have the budget to install a new tool? Is that something that you want to do? Maybe yes. You have the money, you have the time. And sometimes they are marketing those tools as a free tool. Download it from the web, install it in your PC, you have the desktop version, you start doing your dashboards until the time you say, I want to share. When you say, I want to share, oh, that's going to cost you money, okay? And services. And you will get a bill every month because you are using some kind of subscription method, okay? And the other one will be, okay, we have 20, 50, 200 users already using one of those tools. Very good. But now they're asking us about, okay, how can I govern this tool? I need to provide licenses. I need to provide ways to secure my data. I want to secure the access to those documents. How can I do that? And hey, we have business objects. We already have the BI Launchpad to provide us the security. We have universes to provide us access to the data. And we have a tool, we have Webby, and Webby can help us doing that. In the last few years, we have like a lot of new features, new charts, new KPI visuals that we can use in Webby. We have waterfalls, we have pie charts, we have everything available in Webby, word clouds, stat clouds, etc., that we can use in Webby. And we can use that infrastructure without adding more cost to your organization. And in this demonstration, I will be using BusinessObjects, Launchpad, and Web Intelligence to create a dashboard. I'm going to do it in PowerPoint first, and then I will go to the service and do it online. Then this is the dashboard I'm going to create. I already have like halfway through the dashboard. Then we will have time to see how to do it. Then we will be using input controls. We have a KPI tile on the top. We have charts, and we have a table. And then we will be using input controls to select, filter data, and different ways to display your data. Then we have one input control will be for selecting what type of chart we want to use. I want to display my data in a pie chart. I want to display my data in a tag cloud or a bar chart. That will be our first input control to select what kind of chart I want to display. Second one, or second input control, will allow me to select between sales revenue or quantity sold. Then I will just tag on one of those two, and it will change between sales revenue or quantity sold. And also I want to change, or I will be able to change the dimension that I'm using for my charts. I want to see it by store, by period, or by lines of products or product lines. Then that will be my dashboard. And again, we're not using anything new. We have it. We have the data. The data is a standard. We have a universe. The universe is connected to the database. Then we have something already there. Second, we have charts. Charts are standard in Webby. We can do pie charts, tag clouds, KPIs, waterfalls, etc. We need to create some variables. We can do those in Webby. We don't have to go somewhere else. We can open Webby and create variables in the report. Input controls, those are also standard. Those are dynamic selectors or filters that you can add to your documents. And also, we will be linking objects. And linking objects is the way that you will be using an input control based on an object. I will be clicking on a pie chart to filter a table, for example. Clicking in one table to filter a chart. Those are the document linking options we have in Web Intelligence. Then again, we're using 6 different things that are already available in our Web Intelligence, in our BusinessObjects environment, and all of those are standard. Then for our charts, we will be using also the show and hide capability in our charts. I say if I'm selecting line, I will be displaying that chart only, and I will be hiding the bar, and I will be hiding the tag cloud, etc. Then we will be doing that in the show and hide for our charts. Our variables, we will be using variables to define the dimensions and the measures that will be displayed in the charts, and also capturing the input control selections. Input controls, we saw those 3 main input controls. And linking objects, in my case, I'm linking the pie chart to filter the table. Then how to use the hide or in our charts. In all of those charts, we will get this, in the general tab, we will have a checkbox that we can say hide when the formula is true. Then if the chart type is different than pie chart, then I will be hiding my pie chart. If the chart type is different than the bar chart, I will be hiding the bar chart. If the chart type is different than the word cloud, I will be hiding the word cloud. Then those are the 3 formulas that I'm using in the general tab of all those charts to hide them if they are not selected from the input controller. Then for each of those selections that I'm creating, I will be adding, I'm adding one for input type, which will be predefined as a word cloud, and then I will be using this variable to create my input control. Then based on what the input type is capturing from the input control, I will say if my input type is var, then it's a var chart, else it's a pie chart, or it's a word cloud. Then I'm using two variables to, one to capture the input control and the other one to define the show and hide. The other one is also for the input control, and it will be based on the input series. If I'm selecting quantity sold, or if I'm selecting sales revenue from the input series. To create the input control for the chart type, axis, and measure, we will be using those variables, and we will again create, in our cases, will be simple selection input control. For chart type, our list of variables will be custom because we want to predefine those as a bar, pie, or word cloud. And the operator will be equal to. And for linking is the standard linking. You will be highlighting your, or right click on your pie chart, right click, linking, add element link, and that will allow you to filter upon your selection in the pie chart. Any questions before we go to the live demo? Finger crossed.
How long did this take you from a development life cycle?
Right now, when I'm doing it right now, or when I started from scratch? When I started from scratch, it was 3 hours max. Yeah. And again, it's a basic but dynamic dashboard. Then I will be logging into our business objects environment, and let's do F5.
Who are the consumers of this dashboard?
For this one, it's a demo. We don't have like many people. It was like more like a demo for IBIS. But we have some similar type of dashboards that are being used for the service management, for all the tickets that we have in the corporation. Then we're using input controls based on tree maps and heat maps to select data and charts based on those selections as well. Yeah. Then let me go to my IBIS 2019, and we will be using Arizona Business Objects User Group. And let me do F11. And then what I have now, then what I'm showing right now here is the tag cloud or word cloud chart. We have a bar chart and we have a pie chart. Then those are the three charts that we are using for this report, along with the KPI tile and also the table on the side. Then I think I already did I see the report, the element linking already, it's been already in place. Then if I click here, it will be selecting whatever I am selecting in my pie chart. Then this is the way it will work. I don't know if you have done this in the past in Web Intelligence. Then again, it's as easy as right-click, linking, and then you just add an event link, and then you display here, you go to the dependencies and say, if I select one of my slices, I want to filter, or I want to apply that filter to the table and to the tile, then to the tile and to that table. Then again, something standard in Web Intelligence. Then again, if I click on eFashion New York, then it will be the quantity sold for eFashion New York and eFashion New York Magnolia, 28,000 items. And if I go to the input controls, again, I'm using the input control panel to create those. And the standard way to create an input control, you just select which variable you want to use for that input control. And after that, let me edit one of the existing ones. And we saw something similar here. Like I'm going to use a radio button. It's going to be, the name will be chart type. It's going to be a custom list, bar, pie, or word cloud, bar, pie, word cloud. The same for the chart measure. Then I will be using a custom list, sales, or quantity sold. And for the chart axis, I will be using a custom input control with store lines and period. And when we go to the formulas, this is one of the formulas saying if the input axis from the input control is equal to store, then I'll be displaying the store name. That's my variable or my column from the universe. If my input axis from the input control is equal to period, then I will be displaying periods. If it's not period or store name, I will be displaying lines. Okay, then it's a simple if statement. And that will be the same for the title, and that will be the same for the chart type. If it's bar chart, pie chart, or word cloud. Then again, I define those, the input variables are just to have a location or a variable to create that input control. These three are just based on the selection on the input control. And the chart measure is also for the input control. If the input series is equal to quantity sold, then I will be displaying the quantity sold, else I will be displaying the sales revenue. Then right now I'm just displaying the three charts, but I want them to be overlapped one on top of the other, and then I will be just hiding or showing them based on the selection from the input control. Then I will be using, again, I will be doing my right click on one of the charts. I will say format chart, and in the global chart area, I have the option to say hide when the following formula is true. Then let's get that formula, because it should be in my document here. Then let's go to the formulas. There's a filter, and then we should do for my word cloud, I'm going to copy and paste this formula, say hi when this formula is true. Then if my chart type is different than word cloud, then I will be hiding the word cloud. Then I will just, to validate, I will go to input control and will say pi. If I click on the pi, then I don't see the word cloud anymore. Then let's do the same with the pi and the bar. Then let's go to the pi. Say right click, right click, format, hide when it's different than pie chart. And if I go to bar, then I don't have the pi, I don't have the, see here, oh, remove from here. Maybe let's do this, and let's go back. Still there, okay. He doesn't want to remove from here. You know, let's save out and in. I don't want to hit in anything like a remove, and then I will remove the input control or something. Yeah, yeah. Then, okay, now we have to do the same for the line chart. Then I will take my, bar chart. Then I will take the bar chart formula for hiding the bar chart. Right click, format, hide when this is true. Say okay. Now if I say var, it's the var. If I say pi, it's the pi. If I say word cloud, it's the word cloud. Then next step, very simple. We're gonna make this chart. Gonna just play with the layout. It's 0, 0 from the tile, and the size, and I can say, let's do, I don't know, 7 by 4, just to keep it simple. Then I will do pi. Come on, little pi, over here, right click, format chart. I will go to layout, say 0 from the bottom side of the, this from the edge of the report, which is good, and this will be bottom side of the tile, and it will be, I think it was 0. And the size, sorry. Let's do that as well. I think it was 7 by 4. Then if I go back to the word cloud, nice, pi, nice. If I go now to the var, let's go to the var, huh? That's a good way to start the happy hour. 7, 4. And then we say 0 from the left and 0 inches from the bottom side of the tile. And apply. Then now I want to see a pi. I will see my pi. I want to see word cloud. It will be a word cloud. I want to see a bar. It will be a bar chart. Then changing the measure and the axis will be same when you create your chart. Sorry, assign data, which is better than going that way, will be right click, assign data. If you see, my assign data is using variables. Chart axis, which is the one that I'm defining what I want to see, lines, periods, or stores. Then based on my selection, the axis will change, and my chart measure is doing the same. It's based on this chart measure input control. Then if I say quantity sold, I will be displaying quantities. If I say revenue, it will be using revenue. And that is in every chart. Then I'm not going to open all of them to show you that the assigned data is doing that. Then again, if I say I want to see sales revenue, it's going to be sales revenue. If I want to switch by period, I want to switch by product lines, then you see that the axis is changing. Right now it's by store. If I say by line now, we have like different like dresses, leather, jackets, etc., sweaters. And it's happening the same is happening here. I have to clear my filters over here. And that will work only with the pie, remember. When I go to the pie, will be just based on the axis, which is right now lines. If I go to stores, then my pie chart will be displaying the distribution by store. Or I can do it by period as well. Then you can, again, you can switch between different chart types. You can switch or change the measure displayed in your chart. Yeah, the measure, the axis, and the chart type. Then those are the ways that I created this dynamic dashboard. And probably there's other tools that you can do this, but in Web Intelligence, it's also possible. I mean, you don't need to buy a totally brand new tool, start to learning DAX or something else, M queries, things like that, if you can reuse what you have. Again, you have the services already in place for your BusinessObjects Launchpad. You have the Web Intelligence tool are already available. You have the universes, your semantic layer between your Web Intelligence tool and the database. Then you have a lot of things already in place and a lot of investment in time and also in money, and you can use your existing platform to create Web Intelligence dashboards. It was really fast, but that's, I mean, if you have any questions, I think we have time for questions. Yeah? Plenty of time for questions? Okay, then I can do it again. Okay. Come on, Rick.
No, well, I asked mine to start off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you were saying that you haven't deployed this out for the user community. Obviously, it was just something to experiment, get a feel for the feasibility, capability. Are there any plans to maybe have a project where you develop something that allows the users to have the visualization control for, like, Webby, to give them that dashboard feel?
Yeah. I mean, we did one. I mean, it didn't have all this switching back and forth, but we did one for our operations in Spain. They can see all the business process areas on top, and then they can play around with those business areas and change the way they're selecting the data for their charts. Yeah. Ethan.
Yeah, just a comment. We had at in a previous life about a half a dozen or so reports that use this kind of behavior, and the only thing you have to be careful of is performance.
Mm-hmm.
So if the reports get really, really big with lots of data, the reports get painfully slow. So the biggest counsel is just as you do this kind of stuff, it's really cool, but be super careful that you don't lose control of the documents themselves. So that's my biggest bit of counsel.
Yeah. And that will be applicable for any Webby report. If you bring 1 million rows to your ledger and see all the transactions for the last 10 years, that report will probably fail at some point. Then, and other tools are good, but they also have limitations. Sometimes it's like you can bring 500,000 rows or 50,000 rows. I mean, you have to be careful also with when you see something that is very shiny and beautiful, ask the details on how many rows, how often can I refresh that report? Can I send parameters to refresh that report? A lot of things that we think about is like for granted, we take it for granted like, yeah, it's possible. But when you start digging into those tools, maybe it's not as, as good as Webby, when you can have parameters before running the query and then input controls after. Some tools, you bring all the data and then you start slice and dice on the other side. And now you have a big data cube that it will be very slow to move. Or you have to do everything like you have to create a query with all those parameters, like static parameters. You won't be able to change those parameters. Will be for this month or for the last 30 days, but you won't be able to say, I want to see my data from to or for this specific cost center, because the report must have everything predefined, pre-cooked. In Webby, you can have parameters before running the report. Questions? No? Okay, then.
Jose, thank you.
Thank you very much.